do we receive what he has equipped us with? Because we're not going to be able to bow it later on if we don't receive it. We already went there. Okay, so into Moses. He's going to be our guy for a little bit. Now, his gift, I'm kind of snotty for some reason. Can I have a little?
Here. Thank you.
I'm not crying yet, so I don't know why this is happening. It's a nervous snot. Okay. Pharaoh, oh wait, no, not Pharaoh, Moses. God gave Pharaoh a circumstantial gift, which was he was born as an Israelite or a Hebrew, and then he moved into Pharaoh's palace. I don't know if you remember this whole story, but he was going to be killed, and Pharaoh's daughter adopted him, and then he went and raised in the palace, and then he killed a Hebrew, and then he ran away, and then he was hanging out being a shepherd way, way, way far from Egypt. In the desert, no less. But his circumstances uniquely equipped him to be a great spokesman for the Hebrews to Pharaoh. But he did not think of himself this way, I'm sure. I'm sure he thought himself as hiding out murderer guy in desert. Okay? So he's just doing his job and unaware that he has already been equipped with a circumstance that makes him probably one of the only guys who could do what he was going to need to do subsequently. So we're going to go in there. Exodus 3. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the far side of the wilderness. Oh, he's going to spend so much time there, poor guy. And came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, ding, 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 I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, he didn't know. He didn't know what he was saying. He said, here I am. He made himself available. Do not come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Now this is the part I didn't give you this. Okay, I bolded this in my notes, so you can bold it in your brain. At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. Not courageous. Just to clarify what's happening here. A hiding face, afraid to look at God. Anti-courageous. Okay, now I'm going to read again, and I want you to count the eyes of God talking here. I will run out of fingers, so you might have to help me. The Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious place, a land flowing with milk and honey, and the home of the blah, blah, blahs. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now how many are we at? 6. Am sending you. To Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. I just can see him thinking, all right, this is about you, this is about you, this is about you. What? I just said, now go. Who, me? Now I am sending you. I have come down and I am sending you to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. Now this is the part where it starts to get a little crazy. God has started talking out of the bush and telling Moses what he wants to use him for, and naturally Moses is afraid and feels inadequate because he doesn't comprehend that he, in his very identity and birth, has been gifted. So he raises his doubts. But Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? He doesn't know yet that he is uniquely gifted with something else, not just the birth thing. And God said, this is the gift, I will be with you. And this will be the sign to you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain. So God gave him another gift that he still doesn't fully comprehend. And the other gift, which all of us have access to, is God's presence, which Moses also he's not ready to comprehend it. He can't receive any of these yet. He's like, what? In fact, he's terrified of God's presence right now. Like a few seconds ago, he was like giving him the back off. But the first part is the gift giving from God. So under where it says he equips you, I think I told you, but if I didn't, it should be he gives. So here's God. I'm giving you, I'm going to go with you. Okay? Now, we kind of tend to live in the awareness of the gifts we lack. Even though God's word repeatedly assures us that we're given gifts, we're blessed, we're supplied for, we're provided for, we're cared for, we're planned for, we compare, we worry, we fear, we whine, we pine. We look at the gifts of other people and we miss the chance to recognize our own gifts. When God or his people come to us and say some version of, I am sending you, we say, who, me? Because we forget that we are equipped. And that should give us courage. If we could believe that we were equipped by the creator of the universe, uniquely, divinely, we would be courageous instead of afraid. So that's the courage part. To be courageous, you have to know that you have been given gifts. You've been given many gifts. You've been given financial gifts. You've been given experiential gifts. You've been given circumstantial gifts. You've been given incidental gifts. Okay, so this is part 2. How am I doing? I'm sweating. There's snot and there's sweat.
Next is blood.
Those two, don't you think? Maybe tears. All right. Okay, so God extends the gift to us, but that isn't the end of the process because there's a second thing about gifts. We have to receive them. It has to be accepted. Otherwise, it's a nothing. So we have to hear God's command for its use. Because he equips us, and then he's going to tell us how to use it, right? What to do. Because he gives it, we receive it, and then it's like, okay, now what? Now, the purpose of every gift, we already talked about, but I'm just going to remind you, because this has only taken me my entire life to learn. So I'm going to give you 2 chances. The purpose of every gift from... What did you say?
I said it took you your whole life and we just get 2 chances.
You're catching on quick. Okay. The purpose of every gift, from the air we breathe, to the money that we have, to the talents we share, to the food we cook, to the friendships we nurture, the purpose of all gifts is to
Glorify God.
So much smarter than me. Okay, there are lots of other sub-purposes, like helping the poor, feeding the hungry, but the ultimate goal, the end game, as I said before, is to glorify God. Think about this. I recently